Hello friends and welcome to this video on Authentic English, and in this video we'll discuss Act 1 Scene 2 of The Tempest. Before we begin with the video, I would like you to subscribe to my channel if you have not already done so, and also hit the bell icon next to it. Scene 2 takes place in the island where Prospero and his daughter Miranda watch the ship quiver in the storm. And this scene takes place on the island where Prospero and his daughter Miranda had been sent 12 years ago. So Prospero and his daughter Miranda watched the ship quiver in the storm. So Prospero had created the storm in which all these royal people were, and now Prospero and his daughter Miranda are watching the ship tremble in the storm. Miranda begs Prospero to stop the storm as she cannot watch people in pain. Miranda, being a very benevolent young girl, cannot watch all these people in pain. Okay, so she's begging her father to stop the storm. Prospero urges that he's doing that to protect her, and Prospero tells her that nobody is going to get harmed, and also that he is doing that to protect her. Now, a very important thing takes place here. Prospero tells Miranda and to the audience the story of why he's creating the storm and what happened to him and Miranda. Prospero tells her of her heritage, her birth, and how she came to the island. Okay, so now he's actually telling the audience all the story of the background, like how they came to be about on this island. He tells her that he is the rightful Duke of Milan and she is the princess. He tells Miranda that he is the rightful Duke of Milan and not Antonio. So Antonio has usurped power from Prospero. This is what he tells in the story. He tells his daughter that he is the rightful Duke of Milan and she is the princess. Prospero allowed his brother Antonio to control the kingdom, but Antonio betrayed him by conspiring with the king of Naples to capture the kingdom for his own. So Prospero used to be a man who was very busy in his books, so he could not properly control the kingdom, and therefore he asked his brother Antonio to control the kingdom. But Antonio betrayed him by conspiring with the king of Naples to capture the kingdom for his own. Now Prospero just, gave the kingdom to him for the purpose of controlling it. But Antonio completely snatched away the kingdom from Prospero by conspiring with the king of Naples. So king of Naples and Italy and this Antonio, who was the Duke of Milan, kind of conspired together to remove Prospero from the throne. Prospero and Miranda were put to sea on a small boat, and Gonzalo helped them with necessities, and eventually they came to this island. Prospero and Miranda were put to the sea on a small boat by these conspirators. Okay, they were left alone to die, but Gonzalo came to help them. Gonzalo helped them with necessities, and eventually they came to this island. So had this not been for Gonzalo, they probably might have been dead now. And eventually Prospero and his daughter Miranda came to this island. Prospero makes Miranda sleep by magic. What happens then is that Prospero makes Miranda sleep by magic, because in the story she was not listening to the story very properly, because her mind was on the ocean where her father had created the storm and the people were in danger. This shows that Miranda is a nice young girl. Now we are introduced to two other characters, Spirit Ariel and the son of the witch Sycorax, which is known as Caliban. Okay, so Spirit Ariel, who has been saved by Prospero, now enters and tells that everyone except the crew had to leave the ship. Now Spirit Ariel kind of comes and gives the news to Prospero. So Prospero had saved Ariel, and now Ariel was bound to serve Prospero. Spirit Ariel, who has been saved by Prospero, now enters and tells that everyone except the crew had to leave the ship. So she brings the news that everyone had to flee the ship except the crew. The passengers are separated on different parts of the island. The ship is hidden in the harbor with its sleeping crew, and the remaining crew have left for home thinking the king is drowned. So the various royal passengers of the ship are on different parts of the same island where Prospero and Miranda are. The ship is hidden in the harbor and with its sleeping crew, and the remaining crew and whatever remaining people were left, they have left for home thinking that king is drowned. So this is the news that Ariel brings. Ariel demands freedom, but Prospero says he will do that later. So Prospero said that if Ariel served him well, he will grant Ariel freedom. But now he says that his freedom will be delayed and he'll grant freedom to Ariel later. Prospero then wakes Miranda up and calls for Caliban, son of Sycorax the witch. Now what happens is that Prospero wakes Miranda up and then calls for Caliban. So Caliban is a very heavy and bad kind of a person who is the son of the witch Sycorax. Caliban is rebellious and subdued through magic alone. So Caliban is a very rebellious person. He is not somebody who can be tamed easily, and Prospero has to use a lot of magic to tame him. So there is a comparison that is drawn between Ariel and Caliban. While Ariel is a good spirit, Caliban is a bad one. Caliban says the island belongs to him, but Prospero claims he is corrupt and evil. Now Caliban says that to Prospero that you are ruling on my island, but Prospero claims that Caliban is a corrupt and evil person. Prospero forces Caliban to obey him. Ferdinand, Prince of Naples, enters and he and Miranda fall in love. Now what happens is Ferdinand, one of the passengers of the ship who was separated on one part of the island, enters the scene and he and Miranda fall in love. So Miranda has seen a man for the first time except his father and Caliban. So Miranda instantly falls in love with Ferdinand, and Ferdinand also falls in love with Miranda. So a kind of a romance is happening here. And you know what happens? Ferdinand swears to Miranda that he will make him the queen of the princess of Naples. So although Prospero likes this, he accuses Ferdinand of being a spy and tries to use magic to control him. Now what happens is that Prospero uses his magic to control Ferdinand. So this is what happens in this scene. So these are the things that Ferdinand and Miranda fall in love. The story of their past is told to us, and Ariel and Caliban are introduced to the audience. Now let's just analyze the scene. We get to know why Prospero creates the storm. The reason of the creation of the storm is noted because he wants to revenge all these traitors. He wants to revenge his brother for usurping the kingdom. Prospero may gain sympathy, but he is not nice to Ariel and Caliban. So it can be said that Prospero is right to seek revenge, but somewhere he is not nice to Ariel and Caliban. He had promised Ariel his freedom, but he is not treating him well. Miranda is shown as a benevolent person since she cares for the passengers of the ship, and Miranda is shown to be a very nice young girl. She deeply cares for the people on the ship. Now another important thing that is made obvious through this scene is the fact that Prospero was perhaps not good enough to govern, and that's why he renounced the kingdom to his brother. Why did he give the kingdom to his brother to control? Perhaps because Prospero was actually not able enough to govern, and he was very much occupied with his books. Prospero has developed magical powers which are very powerful yet not very harmful, and he has learned things from books. So all the magic that Prospero has learned is from his books. This is what is shown in the scene. The books are his power, but earlier they caused him to lose the kingdom. So now the books are his power, but earlier it was the same books that caused him to lose the kingdom. And magic was taboo in that time. So Prospero is somebody who uses a lot of magic trick, and during the time that Shakespeare wrote, magic was considered taboo. So the magic of Prospero is shown to be white magic. The magic that Prospero does is not dangerous, is not harmful. It's white magic done for good purposes. Whereas the magic of Caliban and Sycorax is evil, and that is why they are shown as evil creatures. Shakespeare does not show Prospero to be somebody who uses magic for some evil reasons. Otherwise, the audience will not like him to be the rightful Duke of Milan. Otherwise, there must be, a great kind of a confusion in the audience that why such an evil person has become the king. So that is why Shakespeare is careful to show that Prospero practices only white magic. So he is a good and responsible king, and that is why he comes to the throne at last. Caliban is an evil person, this is shown, and Ferdinand and Miranda make people reconcile eventually. So towards the end of the play, we'll know that the love affair between Ferdinand and Miranda will make everybody reconcile. So this play does not have a sad ending. In the end, everything kind of gets sorted out. So this is a romance or a comedy, whatever you want to call it. So this was the analysis of Act 1, Scene 2. Thank you so much for watching.